Hi foodies, I made some rice and peas with my Instant Pot, and you know what? It worked out perfectly fine. It's delicious. I love the texture. Let's get into it. So guys, this is dried kidney beans. All right, of course we call it peas in Jamaica. So this wasn't soaked overnight, so I'm gonna pressure cook it with some garlic, and I added a little salt to taste. So the water is salted, add garlic, and then I'm just gonna cover it, and I'm gonna pressure cook it for about 30 minutes. All right, if you soak it, then it might pressure cook even faster. So make sure you turn this to the sealing setting, of course, and then I'm going to pressure cook it until it's tender. If you're using canned beans, then I will leave some details in the description box below the video. All right, but if you're using your dry beans, we're gonna pressure cook this, and then we're gonna add some more ingredients. So guys, now I'm just gonna check to make sure the peas is cooked. All right, so you want it to be tender but not completely mashed out, of course. I find that sometimes some of them are still firm and intact, and some of them are, a little broken, but that's okay. So when you're using the rice setting, guys, you want equal parts rice and liquid. So if you're doing 2 cups of rice, you do 2 cups of liquid. But today we're including the peas as well. So we need to add a little extra liquid. So here I have the peas on the left and the liquid from the Instant Pot. The liquid is 2 cups. All right, but I'm gonna add an extra cup of liquid, and that's the coconut milk. So we end up with 3 cups because we're gonna be including the peas. So we need a little extra moisture so the Instant Pot doesn't burn. If you have extra liquid, what you can do is just use more rice, or you can cool this down and freeze it and use it when you're making some more rice and peas, because it adds extra color to your rice and peas. So you can just add extra rice, or you can freeze this and use it next time you're cooking some rice and peas. All right, so the peas is in there. I'm gonna be adding back that 2 cups of liquid, right? So that's that 2 cups of peas water, if you want to call it, and then the coconut milk. So we have 3 cups of liquid in here. All right, then I'm gonna season up the pot. We're adding some garlic. Then I'm gonna add some scallion. You can cut it smaller if you want to, or even bigger if you prefer. And then some allspice berries. Then some fresh thyme. I do not use dry thyme in rice and peas. And a little bit of sugar. This is optional. Some people swear by it, some people don't like it. Do what you prefer. And then you're gonna make sure you taste at the end of this too. Make sure you taste. All right, we're adding some black pepper. This is also optional. Sometimes I add it, sometimes I don't. It's just a little bit. Okay, then I'm gonna go in with some coconut oil. All right, the coconut oil will add flavor, and it also helps the rice to not stick too much together. Sometimes I actually use butter, sometimes I use both. All right, make sure you taste this to see if you want to add a little bit more salt. Okay, and then after that we'll add the washed rice. I rinsed this basmati rice several times until the water ran clear, and then I'm just gonna stir it in. Make sure you stir that in, guys. If there's anything on the sides, make sure that it goes down into the liquid. Okay, if you feel like you don't have enough liquid in there, because the liquid's supposed to cover the rice and peas, if it doesn't, then you need to add a little more coconut milk or some more of that peas water. All right, of course, don't forget the scotchbonnet pepper. Just put it in there whole, and then we're gonna cover this. We are going to use the rice setting. So once you seal this properly, then just press the rice button, and you don't need to do anything else. Okay, that's it. Now what the Instant Pot does is it adjusts to suit the amount of rice and liquid and stuff that's in the pot. So it is 10 minutes right now, and then I realized that after a while it switched to 13, because I guess the Instant Pot said, you know what, you need a little bit more time. So it cooked, and then after it cooked, guys, you'll see low come on. You leave that on low for 5 minutes, and then turn off the Instant Pot. Now you're going to allow it to sit until the pressure releases naturally. All right, if you're impatient, fine, but just be careful, okay? I just let it sit until the button goes down, which means that there's no more pressure. So that's what they call the float valve. If the float valve, that little silver button there, if it goes down, that means the pressure has been completely released and it's safe to open the pot. All right, so once that's released and it's down, I'm just going to open up the pot. You'll notice that the thyme, the scallion, a lot of the peas comes up to the top. The pepper was actually still intact, and so I'm just going to take out the excess herbs and seasonings out of there, and then we'll just fluff up the rice so you can see the texture that you will get. So as you can see, guys, the texture is perfect. It's not too dry, not too moist. It's nice and fluffy. I actually loved it, guys. Really tasty. I felt like I cooked it the traditional way, to be honest with you. So if you give this a try with the canned beans, then of course you would skip the pressure cooking step, and then of course you would just measure out your liquid. So remember, guys, if you're using 2 cups of rice, you need 2 cups of that water that you cook the peas in. However, you need an extra cup of coconut milk because you've included the peas, which is another ingredient, right? So it's kind of like adding an extra cup of rice because you're not just cooking rice, right? If you were just cooking rice, then it would just be 2 cups of rice and 2 cups of liquid flat. All right, so definitely remember that. And look at this, it didn't stick to the bottom at all. It's perfectly fluffy, guys. So give this a try, guys, and let me know how it works out for you. I am here if you have any questions. Remember, you can message me on my Instagram page. Thanks for watching. See you next time.